Hi everyone, Lazy Fire here. Welcome back to Red Faction. Last time we met K-Pek, and now we're following him out into the mines.
K-Pek headed out that way, Parker.
Thanks.
I can't see into this area. There aren't any security cameras here.
That means Hendrik's going to be by and large useless in here, which is totally fine. Oh, and these guys followed us out. This is kind of a common tactic this game's going to use. It's going to basically spawn people behind me or in the same room as me, just far enough away that I can't see them sometimes, and other things like that. It's annoying, I guess you could say. There's a point later in the game where I may actually end up getting a guy to spawn in a room with me. I've been trying to actually make that happen, just so you can see it. Oh, and by the way, we fight gremlins in this game. Sorta. You can hear the music kind of doing a scary movie soundtrack thing in the background there. These are some of K-Pek's experiments. We'll be facing a few of them in this area. I think the psychic whales are technically part of that as well. But these guys are weak to shotgun, so we'll be using that as long as we have ammo. And don't even bother with the primary fire function on these guys, just use the secondary fire. It's a lot easier, it takes them down in the exact same amount of hits. It's generally 3 shots. Okay, this guy here has grenades, we want those. Grenades have an incredible blast radius in this game. You can see K-Pek off there in the distance. And we have a guy who's going to blow himself up in a moment. Watch this. I don't understand. But he didn't even drop his rocket launcher. I'm just trying to get some explosives going here. I don't have any, as you can see. But luckily this guy spawned right over here for no reason, which is a good spot for him, and one-shotted him. Not bad. Now luckily for me, he actually dropped some grenades, which is exactly what I need, because there is a little... No, wait, sorry. I do pick up some in a moment. I keep forgetting exactly where.
I see you, Parker. I will deal with you later.
Perfect. Here they are.
Perhaps you
and
might even be persuaded to join one of my experiments.
These guys, by the way, are firing on me with sniper rifles. You might not be able to tell from here, but that's the exact case. Now, I'm actually trying to make something glitch out in this video, which is trying to get K-Pek to stay on screen while he talks to me. You can actually force that to happen by quick saving while someone's talking to you. If you go through a loading area while someone's talking to you in the comm thing, you'll actually stop them from talking and end the conversation. It's really annoying because you have no idea where those areas are. But now that I have explosives, I can actually get into this little grotto area down here. Now, the thing about grenades is they have such a huge blast radius that I actually worry about my bodily health here. But that was pretty much a spot-on shot. There's one large monster thing down here, but I decided that it's not going to let me shoot it, basically. If you look at this, it's just following me in the worst way possible. Now, I'm going to try something in this video that you should never try to do. Oh, by the way, that works. Remember when I couldn't kill a guy by shooting him in the foot? Anyways, one of the things you should never really try to do in this game is snipe anything at a distance that's mobile. These guys here, the one I just killed, and the smaller ones as well, are both terrible, terrible targets. Don't bother trying to shoot those with a sniper rifle. You'll never hit them. Right there, we just cleared out that little guy. And there we are. This is our way out. It looks kind of hopeless at first, but this is actually it. But because geomod is reduced in the later areas of the game, like this one, it takes a couple blasts to get out. So I have to widen this hole, and then I actually have to create a surface for me to get out on. Because as you can see, that area right there, the bottom part, and all this stuff around here, a lot of it is actually not explodable. So I have to create a ramp out, more or less. That's what I do here. And I'm actually back in the area I just walked into this room from. I'm going to do a quick check to make sure that no one's over here, not going to shoot me in the back, and no one spawned ahead of me. So, we're actually pretty good. This is a first. But yes, enemies will spawn all around you. You just have to be mindful of that fact and kind of expect it every now and again. It will get you killed every now and again too. So there's not much you can do to stop it if you're not really careful. Even if you are careful, it can be pretty bad. But we're actually done with this specific room, we're going to go into another few rooms just like it. And I'm down pretty low on this assault rifle, which is not good news because it is really the most useful weapon in this area. Once again, these guys run around like crazy even when you're not shooting at them, so sniper shots are not always going to be dead on accurate. Now, I'm switching to the pistol here because in a few moments, and I'm not even paying attention to this stuff, but it'll actually be very useful in a few moments. This is the way I just came, by the way. These guys just spawned in behind me. So, and I think he actually technically died to the splash damage from that rocket. You can see that rocket actually hit that structure that's going to be on my left now. No damage to it. Once again, Geomod kind of drops the ball on some things, but plenty of damage to these pillars and spikes. I think Geomod is a really neat concept. I just think you have to build the entire game around it. And that means that you have to pay attention to how far you can blast in the floors, can you go under this, what does it do to the water in this area, all that other stuff. And I just don't think...
Ryan got Griffin to the Red Faction base, Parker. EOS should be picking his brain right now.
Anyways, I don't think that this game or the development studio had enough time or the capabilities maybe to even do that right. Now this is the Psychic Whale fight. There's a couple of them in this area. This is a complete bitch to do. I'm just desperately trying to hit him. If he hits me, and I'm going to take a shot straight to the face on purpose there, 20 damage goes right through the Enviro suit. I'm going to take another shot by mistake in a moment, and you'll see every time is 20. That's not good news for me. But he died. There's another one later on that I kill like immediately. Now if you look down here, this looks like somewhere you can explore. You can't. If you go down there, you actually die if you go too far down. So don't do that. Also, this looks like something that might be interesting to blow up. It's really not, but I'm going to use a grenade on it anyways. Grenades and the pistol are really the only two guns you can use underwater. You can see I can blow up the area in there, but I can't blow the area up outside of it, so I can't get in there either way. Not really fun. Not super happy about that. I really wish Geomod was a little bit more robust, but what can you do? It's a game made in 2001. We should all feel pretty impressed that they actually made this in 2001.
Parker? Your persistence is beginning to annoy me. No matter. Very soon you will be irrelevant. Hey!
And we're going to get the submachine gun
Where
back.
could we be going, I hear you wonder? Soon you will know, Parker.
Actually, I mistook that the sound for the submachine gun. It was actually the assault rifle, which is better news. The submachine gun is particularly useless in this area, especially because a lot of these fights are at a distance. And right there, I made the conscious decision not to fight at a distance, but to rather get closer to them to fight them, which I think is actually the right one in this case. If you try to fight too many of these guys at a distance, you'll just waste ammo.
Griffin says Kapik knows how to cure the plague.
Alright, so...
I'm coming up there to help you.
I hate EOS so much sometimes. I'm just trying to talk EOS. Now, you're going to see something up ahead. I'm just trying to use the shotgun on these guys from a distance to see what happens. You see the steam coming up here? This is the one and only time the geothermal status of Mars comes up in steam format, let's say. It's not particularly interesting or annoying or anything like that. It's just a single occurrence of it. You'd think they'd use it a bit more because you do end up spending a lot of time on Martian flooring, let's say. Not in offices like we spent a couple episodes now. I have 3 shotgun shells and plenty of submachine gun. Because once again, the submachine gun does use the pistol ammo. And I'm trying to conserve some of my ammo for my assault rifle and such. Because while it's more common out here, it's still not common enough that I feel comfortable using it all the time. There's 2 of these big guys. They don't get damaged by the steam as far as I can tell, but I do. If I walk over that, I'll start taking damage slowly. But it's incredibly easy to avoid, so you shouldn't have too much trouble with it. Right, you see there, just walked right through in between everything. No problem. And we're actually pretty much gonna go right into another section of this level. Well, a few of these guys. But the reason why I consider this another section is because it gives you a very specific weapon that I think makes this a little bit more tolerable. Flamethrower's back, everyone. Fan favorite. We reload that real quick. We've got a full cartridge and a little bit more. And it's useful on these guys especially because the little ones are basically one-hit kills. The big ones only take a little bit more. But you see what's going on in here is that there are all these little cubby holes where all these monsters are hanging out in. So as you go, there's going to be cave walls that you'll see, and all you have to do is just wait for them to come out and set them on fire. Not very difficult. But I switch over, hoping to conserve a little bit of flamethrower ammo here. And then I realize, why am I doing that? That's really dumb. Well, the reason you do that is actually because you don't want to burn yourself. Those things set fire to you at a distance, if you're not careful. Right there, I was pretty far away from him, but I still got set fire to. And because this path is kind of narrow, it means a lot of waiting. But I start to figure that the fire damage isn't so significant that I can't just, tank it. If you take a lot of damage in this section, you're not very good, because the flamethrower basically makes this area trivial, so long as you keep some ammo to it. But you can see that, unlike a lot of things in this game, the flamethrower seems to affect only your environmental health right now. And right there, if you blinked, you missed it. You actually saw a case that I've been trying to pull off with this thing since I just picked it up a second ago. Enemies can set each other on fire if they walk over fire that's on top of them. If they're still burning, they'll set each other on fire sometimes.
Parker, I have an idea where K-Pack is headed. For years, there have been rumors of some sort of secret facility deep underground. It's not in the main Altar security network, so I don't know what's there. I'm going to try to hack into the facility's systems from here.
Okay, more enemies down there, but we are following K-Pack to his secret lab area. It's not quite a lab so much as it's a crazy menagerie of insane creatures and guards. But this is the exact issue I was talking about earlier with enemies at a distance. Their AI is such that it'll basically run around in circles while facing you, waiting for you to fire on it. You'll waste a lot of ammo firing on those things, so you're better off coming down here and just fighting them face to face. Yeah, there's two of them. I only saw the one when I was up there, so if you don't know that there's two down here, you could get kind of hurt by rushing in. And right here, I start to waste a lot of pistol ammo. This will come back to haunt me, but right now, I just want these guys far enough out that I can show that they won't go into deep water. They'll go into shallow water, and sometimes they'll even test the limits, but they're not going to come this far out, which annoys me because unless they're trailing you like they are now, they basically run in that insane circle pattern that's so fast that you can't really track them too well. That means that you're kind of screwed. So you're better off letting them track you like I just did, and hoping that there's a med pack nearby. Luckily, these guys aren't too common in the game. It would have been nice if they kind of continued on, but they're very specific. Oh, and here's the second type of robot in the game that will fire on you. I don't know why they're here. They only appear once or twice more, I think. I can think of the other spot. And there are the robots that we met previously after we fought the robot, the large robot, when we were protecting Griffin. You can see they don't really have any different attacks. You just shoot them a couple times and they're done. Not very difficult. And they don't really fire very difficult to dodge projectiles either. So just take your time, fire on them, and then back away or sidestep as they fire. You'll be fine. Unfortunately, they also move in kind of a crazy pattern. You can see all my bullets end up on the wall over here. Just making a quick check to make sure no one spawned in behind me. And we're going to open this door.
Ha, Parker. So you made it past my little guards. Welcome to my zoo, Parker.
Oh, he had more to say, but I walked through a loading zone. Now, sometimes you'll notice...
You have arrived at an excellent time, Parker. Feeding time.
Feeding time is not a really big concern because they give you a Jeep. Now, this Jeep has a machine gun mounted on the back. That's kind of important because I completely forget about it at several different points, or the fact that you can get into it by hitting a single button instead of doing what I do. You could have fired on these guys and let them come out of there, but why not when you can just run them down like this? It seems a little cruel, but it's effective, especially if you don't have someone to gun for you the entire time.
Not to worry, Parker. Those specimens were a failed batch anyway.
Right. So, I just killed that guy twice. He technically died to the guard firing on me, but whatever. Now, this area is fun and interesting because the Jeep is really kind of janky. And it's easier to get out and walk, but it's vital that you have that thing, because they will put you up against such a number of guards that you're really going to want to be able to just run them down or gun them down with the gun on the back of the Jeep. Now, unlike a lot of games, when you're in the back of the Jeep, you actually share the health with the Jeep. So you're not going to worry about maybe taking a few more shots than you would if you were on foot, because you're basically invulnerable back there. Okay, here's our first semi-puzzle of this area. It's not very puzzling. Let's show off the gun on the back of the Jeep. Now, I believe it's the secondary fire would have just brought me right back there, but that works too. Yeah, I gunned him down. Why not? This is the way I came through, just checking to see if there's guys there. We're good. Can't bring the Jeep through right now. So, what am I supposed to do? Well, you have to go the way this one guard fled. If you come down here... K-Pack has some words.
Don't hurt me! Please!
Look closely, Parker. Do you recognize any old friends? Not every specimen reacts favorably to nanotech injections. But no matter. Even the failures teach us something. In the advancement of science, anyone, even you, Parker, can serve a useful purpose.
Alright, well, just shoot these guys in the head, they're done. They're not very difficult, and unless you run in there, you're not going to get attacked. These are what he implies are the end results of the virus. So, think about that, I guess. Now, we've opened up the one gate that we just passed through there, and we just have this other one. And this engineer here is not really helping his case. These guys will duck and cover in the most inappropriate spots in this game if they can help it. Yeah, he just ran away there. He got pretty far. So, take the Jeep on a little bit longer. There's no really long vehicle sections in this game. And I can understand why. If you do any one thing for too long, it's kind of annoying. But there's only two reoccurring vehicles. Ones that you get to drive more than twice, or once. The submarine and the fighter pilot, or fighter jet thing. I don't know what quite that is. Anyways, those two are clearly the most fun because they're combat vehicles. This one appears once in this section, and then the Rock Crusher appears in another section. And then there's one more vehicle. There's 5 total in the game. I'm at a loss for what that 5th one is. I think, oh, you know what? There's a tank. That's it. So, right here, I just ran that guy over because he stood in front of the Jeep. Didn't need to, but I did. I was thinking about where I was going and trying to remember exactly what this led to. But I realized, oh, I'm going in the right direction. I didn't miss anything. I was just overthinking this area. This is the ice cave area of this. You can't really tell now. And if you got out of this Jeep at this very moment, you would not slide around. But there are areas where you will slide around. Physics are reduced. All that good stuff.
Be going now, Parker. Enjoy your stay among my exhibits. Maybe you will have the honor of joining them someday soon. Perhaps we will meet again, Parker. You should hope not.
And more Psychic Whale, but in addition to Psychic Whale, we also have guys on the other side. And this is where I expend my pistol ammo like an idiot. I am trying to conserve my higher level ammo, but I know what's down in that area that I have to go into next. And by the way, it's very clear that the only area left is to go down below there into the water that's right beneath me, but I still waste ammo. So let's take him out the old-fashioned way, a shot to the head. And yeah, I run back here real quick and go pick up some stuff. And I'm back, and all you do is jump down here and follow the lights. Like I said, they do give you some semblance of a guide through most of this game, and they use the lights to do it. Unfortunately, the path doesn't, divert and stop and change over to a different path, and you use different lights. It's all the same light, which makes sense in terms of atmosphere, but it makes almost no sense in terms of trying to keep your player on the right path. Just doing a quick check to make sure I didn't miss anything up there was what that turnaround was. But there is something in this room. There's actually a couple things in this room. Yeah. No cover either. I can't hide behind a pillar and hope for the best. So, if you wait there and wait for him to come to you, you'll do okay.
Leave me alone.
Now, there's another one coming right in here. I don't even think this one gets a shot off. He just takes 2 hits and dies. And I've got enemies above me. Not really ideal, to be honest. So, the smart move here is to do what I actually show off in a second, which is I decide, you know what, I'm going to switch to grenades, and then I'm going to go down and do something I meant to do. But easy and smart are two different things, because it's difficult to judge the arc on the grenade. That's why I saved there. I'm also at 28 health, now 27 health. So you can see, not really a great spot. But I'm trying to get this guy who's just outside of the water, and it looks like I got one of them. But unfortunately for me, that's kind of a Prithik victory. You'll see why in a moment. Now this path over here isn't highlighted, but it does lead to something that I looked at when I didn't show it in this video. But there is a point where you can see this area below you, and you start to wonder, how do I get there? It's actually kind of blocked off with a mesh pathing, so you can't just jump down and be like, I'm here now. But it's this little ice area here. There's a guy up there, and he's got some health, and there's a little cave that has health and ammo. It's really an ideal little spot. Very helpful. But this gash in the ice here, well, it has issues that we'll discuss in a second. Right now I'm stuck in it, but I can move slightly, so I was able to get out. The jumping in and out of water in this game is weird if you don't have a ladder to help you. So I've picked up everything it has to offer. I'm doing pretty good. And right here I decide I'm going to just skip back to where I was, and then I'm stuck. I am utterly stuck in this little thing. I spent a little while here. You'll see me cut right to me just quick loading back to where I was before. But yes, you can get stuck in something like this. Now, I actually go back there and deal with it by throwing a grenade on the ice and blowing it up that way. That's the smart way to do it. Just make sure you always have an exit strategy in this game. But I killed these two guys pretty quick.
I see you have reached my submarine bay. Go ahead, Parker. Take a ride.
Please. Need help here.
And now I'm out of pistol ammo. Not a good time to find that out. And done. So, if you're wondering how to activate the submarine bay, it's this button here. Now, how would you know that? Well, there's really no way for you to know that unless you walk around the room looking for it. Every button in that room, every console that's in that room, has had a button on it for us at one point or another in one area or another.
I did it. I cracked into the security network for K-Pack's secret labs. That's where he's heading, Parker. There's a huge research facility down there. I can't reach Eos. I left a message with Owen in case she checks in.
Alright, another submarine fight. It's not very long or very involved. One of the fundamental unfairnesses of this game is... Oh, hey, by the way, these things die in like one shot. It's great. One of the fundamental unfairnesses in this game is that when you get out of a submarine, you're often basically a sitting duck for the first few moments you're out of there. People will get cheap shots in on you, so if you don't have the health that you need...
You won't believe the things that have been going on in this lab, Parker. This is the source of the plague, that's for sure. CAPEC's been working on nanotechnology, testing its effects on living beings. Animals or humans, CAPEC doesn't care. The plague is his creation. Be very careful, Parker.
Anyways, yes, if you get out of these subs and everything, you're going to get shot at pretty quickly. So what I'm doing here is quick saving because I don't really trust this next area. Mostly because of that guy. He will chuck a grenade right at you and take you out pretty quickly. Now, I also tried to use a sniper rifle in this area the first time through and died pretty quickly too. So I actually switched over to the different weapons. And it really makes more sense to use the assault rifle in here. Now this area coming up, this ice cave stuff, is supposed to be sort of a test subject area and all this other stuff. If you come over here, this is an elevator. That'll take us to the lab.
No, Parker. I will not make it that easy.
Darn. I was hoping. So, we're now in this pretty extensive ice cave area, and this is where we need to go next, sort of. We don't need to, but we can. So we're actually going to go over here and I'm going to show you. There are a couple guys. They're not really doing much. Now, I actually almost always go down that little chute there. There's a reason I'm going to do it for this Let's Play. Because it drops you right into a fight that I just really love to show off. But you can continue down this way and blah blah blah. It brings you down the path until you're where you need to be. But there's a lot more interesting area if we go down that chute like I mentioned. And there's a reason I've been hoarding rocket ammo since I got out of that suit. CAPEC's going to have a word for us in a moment. Wait for it. Try not to interrupt him here. He's making it difficult.
This is the feeding chute, Parker. Something is hungry.
Let's go meet that something, shall we? Oh, by the way, there's no friction on this ice, so you can't go back up once you reach a certain point. It's too steep an angle and no friction. Which is, I mean, sensible, I guess, to a point. But here we go. Yeah, the feared Martian giant acid-spitting worm, who dies pretty quickly, all things considered. This is probably the point in the game when I played it when I was younger, where I just kept wondering, what is happening in this game now? There's a midget with a purple shield that's flying around, there's a giant worm underneath the ice of Mars. Did he find it? Did he make this out of miners? What happened here? So, this thing dies pretty quickly. You can actually follow the path that's that's laid out in front of us up ahead, or you can go down here. Now, these look explodable. They're not. They're actually iron. You also can't just fall through them, which is unfortunate. You have to come over here and hit this, and then jump down. And down here, you're rewarded with another giant worm. Now, I want to show something off that I found out the last time I played. It's actually quicker and easier to shoot this one. No, that's not a joke. Bullets will actually do much better damage to this thing than the rockets did to the thing above. Look at that. I didn't even use an entire magazine on that guy. Very easy. These guys are not hard to beat. They don't move anywhere. They only do that one attack. And then they're done. That's some glass there. You could have seen him through a wall.
Come, Parker. I am waiting for you.
Oh, see ya. Once again, loading zones, bane of my existence.
Why bother? No one's gonna come this way.
And that's where you're wrong. But we have pretty much gotten as far as we're going to get this update. If we wait for this guy to materialize in front of us there. Oh yeah, hey. He had a rocket. I don't know why I dodged into it, but I did. But we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everyone.